Look at the divergence year to date between the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the QQQ. The QQQ is up 27.5% year to date. The Dow is barely up at all. It's up less than 0.5% this year. An epic divergence, right? Now, if you know me, you know I hedged this year SDow, right? Which essentially, I was looking for one of the indexes to hedge against, right? And I thought the index that would do worse this year, in my opinion, was the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And I got that 100% right. And a lot of people, question that at the time. They're like, no, you should go against the Qs. And I'm like, no, why would I go against the Qs when the Qs are already devastated and the Dow stocks are overvalued? And here I am in this situation looking perfect because the Dow's done nothing this year. If we have any sort of dramatic volatility cycle crash later this year in the summertime, fall time, right? My SDow is going to print money in that scenario because they've lost some value, but they haven't. Here's the deal. If I had QQQ, something going against the Qs, let's say, for instance, right, like SQQQ, I can tell you those options would be done at this point in time. They'd be completely worthless. And even if the market crashed, they wouldn't come back because the Qs have ran so much. Dow, at least I'm in the fight. And I hope those all my options expire worthless in regards to my bets against the Dow, because obviously that means the market's going to continue to do well. But here I am in a situation that is absolutely perfect. So if this market tanks, I can tell you the Dow is going to pull down in 10, 20% if the market was to tank. And obviously my call options against SDow would absolutely print to the moon in that scenario, right? So I'm literally in the perfect scenario, and I've played this as well as you could possibly play this as far as a hedge go. Like, it doesn't get any better than this, man. It literally doesn't get any better than this. But the market is telling you, wake up. They're going to be cutting sooner rather than later. If the market was concerned about them continuing to hike, this would be flipped, okay? The Qs would be barely break even on the year, and the Dow would be up 27%. Or, the Dow would be flattish and the Qs would be down huge. But the market knows that the Fed's cutting soon. And by soon, I mean this year at some point in time, right? That's why you're getting this massive divergence. On top of that, obviously, some of the biggest companies in the world have cut massive amounts of employees, and their profitability is about to take off like a rocket ship. Think Amazon, think Meta, think a few of the other big techs out there, folks. So fascinating times we're going through. And yeah, man, I'm here for it. Palantir is on a tear. My gosh, check this out, okay? 1.7%. Here's the deal with Palantir stock, okay? And here's the thing you got to understand. Every single dip in the stock will be bought for the next year, the next 12 months. Every single major dip, whether it's a few day dip, a week dip, a month dip, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't even know if it'll have a month dip, to be honest, over the next 12 months. But every single dip that happens in the stock will be bought. Every single one. And that's exactly what you're seeing playing out here. When you got a company that's on a trajectory to get inside the S&P 500, and you got a company that's, got a product that's aimed right at what is the most exciting thing in the market, and people are just starting to catch on to that, right? In AI, when you have all that, I can tell you every dip will be bought in Palantir for the next 12 months. Every dip, okay? And you'll see the stock go down a little bit and it's going to get bought up. You'll see it go down a little bit and it's going to get bought up and bought up and bought up and bought up. And what you're going to see is a new 52-week high, a new 1-year high, new 52-week high. And it's just going to keep going and rolling. And so, not every single trading day is going to be up for Palantir, but I can tell you every single major or minor dip in the stock will be bought. And that's just different. That's different than obviously what's going on in a lot of other stocks in this market, obviously at this particular time, right? Now, let me explain something very important about what's actually going on here with Palantir's stock price, okay? Because this is very important. Everybody understands this, right? First thing you got to understand is you got to take it back to the end of 2020, beginning of 2021, right? Obviously, that was a certain type of time period. Everybody was, it was to the moon, everything. There was so much free money sloshing around out there. It was like, it was tech bubble 2.0. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was, right? And Palantir obviously went $20, $30+ a share, right? And you had a ton of people buying in. It was a frenzy. Then you had the stock kind of take a breather for quite a while. And then as 2022 even it started at the end of 2021, right? But as 2021 ticked along and then 2022, you had an epic sellout of the stock, right? And let's be honest, there was a lot of people buying Palantir stock that didn't understand anything about what Palantir was doing, their business model. They didn't care about any of that. They just cared that it was hypey and it might be exciting and maybe we can make money there. They didn't understand anything they don't even understand like how to read an income statement, okay? Like those folks most of them didn't understand anything. So then as things got worse and worse, you had an epic sellout of Palantir that dropped the stock price all the way down to the sixes at one point. The sixes. Incredible, right? Who would have thought it would have went under 10, but who would have thought it went under 7? That's just incredible, right? So this epic, absolutely epic sellout, just unrelenting selling pressure coming from institutions. Even Cathie Wood was selling at one point, right? Retail sold in mass, and it didn't matter how much buying pressure there was for the stock. It just couldn't save it, right? And then you had who came in the stock was smart longs. Smart longs are what balanced out the stock and got the stock to kind of be in kind of that $7 to $9 range for almost a year straight, right? These smart longs come in, they built out positions, very nice sized positions. I'm one of those, right? Oman would be one of those people. And there's quite a few people maybe in the private group that did activities like that and built out these really big positions, right? These are the smart longs. And the thing is with these folks that bought in here, like anybody that's still holding from this wave when it was a $20, $30 stock, clearly those people believed this was going to be a $50, $100 stock in the future. So those folks aren't going to be selling it anytime soon, because if they wanted to sell, they had 2 years, they would have sold, right? In the new group of, smart longs that have really bought into the stock heavily over the past, let's call it year or so, we're not looking to sell anytime soon, Palantir. Like this is such a infant stage story here. Like it makes no sense whatsoever on a financial front for us to cash out of shares. So we're going to continue to hold this stock, which means ultimately, these buyers are going to have to keep competing with themselves to buy more and more shares. And that's a tough predicament to be in. Now, it was something interesting, right? A friend had texted me, he said, the ticker symbol PLTR was actually trending on Twitter. And I thought that was interesting. And I said, I wonder if Wall Street Bets, WSB, I wonder if Wall Street Bets cares about it or not. I haven't been on there in a while. And he said, I just checked, no Palantir chatter. And I said, thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Because that's what I was really scared about. I was like, when Palantir, when a stock's making a move like this, next thing you know, it ends up on Wall Street Bets. And once it gets popular on Wall Street Bets, that's the end of a stock price move. I swear to you. When it goes big on Wall Street Bets and everybody's talking about it, that's the end, okay? That is absolutely the end. Like, even if you look at those joke stocks of like GameStop and AMC and all those ones, right? As soon as they got huge on there, that was literally the top. And then right after that was just down and out. And I swear that works like that. I remember Tesla stock was not even a big Wall Street Bets stock for the longest time until it went to like $1 trillion market cap. Then all of a sudden everybody was talking about Tesla and posting all these Tesla memes on Wall Street Bets. And then right after that, that's when the stock price started to come down and down and down. I swear, like, you go big on Wall Street Bets, it's the kiss of death. I swear to you, okay? People talk about the Jim Cramer effect. There's nothing compared to the Wall Street Bets. When everybody's talking about on Wall Street Bets, that's the top, man. And so I'm like, thank goodness that like hardly anybody or no one's really talking about it on there. That's all I have to say about that. And maybe just those sorts of folks ran out of money. They might have just ran out. Because the thing with the WSB crowd, they were all long 2021, right? Margin out, call options, everything like that. Then 2022, they got wrecked. And then they tried to take whatever they had left, and then they flipped it into short positions and put option positions. And I saw this back when I'd go on WSB at the end of 2022 and in the beginning of this year, and I would look on there, and these people had all these put positions and short positions, and they just got obliterated. Like their accounts are now zero. Like they're done. They're done. And that's what happened on there, man. There's a crazy time period, right?